Alright, so we're going to foam off the vehicle. Just a light foam on it. We've already done the pre-wash stage. Now, that's done. Perfect. Now we're going to let this sit for a couple of minutes. Let it break down some dirt. I'll get the bucket ready. Now,
So how do you maintain ceramic coating?
Yep. Maintaining ceramic coating is actually pretty simple. All it is cleaning your car with pH neutral soap. So pH neutral soap reacts really well to ceramic coating, and it actually gives it that restarting sort of finish. So imagine you haven't washed your car in, let's just say, 2 months. I wouldn't recommend it, but let's just say you haven't washed your car in 2 months and you use pH neutral soap. That's going to react with the ceramic coating and give it that bead effect and give it that where the water's just going to flow off the paintwork again, because the pH neutral soap reacts with the ceramic coating. And that's actually one of the bigger reasons why you use pH neutral soap. Anyways. Yeah. So today we are going to be, of course, decontaminating the paint. Now you're probably going to ask, what does that involve? Well, that involves using a clay bar or clay mitt. Now I'm going to go with a clay mitt today because I actually find them a lot more better to use. And I'll actually show you this new clay mitt that has just come out into the market. It's by Brodens and it's actually quite good. I'm really impressed with it. It's actually made of a clay rubber. So we'll check that out in a moment. Now I'll come back around the other side. Now, we're going to clay the car now. So, what we're going to do is we're going to wash the vehicle first. So we're going to go over with the microfiber mitt. I'm going to do that. So, of course, we're doing a bit of agitation here. Now, after we've done this stage, we're going to go over and decontaminate the paint. So anything really that hasn't come off with this, that's really embedded in the paint, the rubber clay mitt will do it, which I'll show you in a second. Flip it around. So, we've done that. Yeah. We're going to wash it off. We're going to foam it with pH neutral soap again. Then, pretty much what the foaming is for, it actually acts as a lubrication for the rubber clay mitt, which is great. Alright, that part's done. Now, let's foam cannon it, and then decontamination. Perfecto.
What do we have here? What's that?
This, I've probably mentioned it already, but this is actually the Chemical Guys foam cannon.
Okay.
So you can get this from any sort of local store, super cheap auto. It's actually fantastic. It pretty much makes your life easier, and it's more of a safer washing. It's called safe washing. And what I mean by safe washing is, of course, pre-washing your vehicle, foaming it again, foaming it at least a minimum of 2 times, and then of course agitation. Always do before, not after. Yeah. You will find, that a lot of people don't actually know that if you just use a hose and a sponge with a bucket, it's actually putting micro scratches on your paint. That is why it's always good to pre-wash. It's always good to use a different mitt from the mitt that touches the body. So rule number 1, always use a different mitt from the wheels. So you have 1 mitt for the wheels, 1 mitt for the exterior of the vehicle. Always a great ruling to have, even with your personal car, because a lot of people, they're scratch washing their car, which you will find. So that seems to be a lot of people doing it because a lot of people just don't know. They just don't. They don't know. All right, now the fun part.
What's the fun part?
So the fun part is decontamination. I have a new product that I'll be using on this vehicle today, which is, it's called clay rubber. So
What does it do?
it's decontamination for the paintwork.
Okay.
So a lot of people use a clay bar or clay mat. This is a rubber clay mitt. Safer to use. You're not going to scratch your vehicle, and it lasts a lot longer too, which is fantastic. Got this brand new today. Look at that. That's the clay mitt. Very similar to a clay mat, or clay mitt as you call it. So let's give this a go. Give it a bit of wetness. Rub it in. Now, start off with an up and down motion on the paintwork. You'll feel that there's rough edges, and this is pretty much preparation for paint correction. And fantastic for glass as well. Smooths down your glass. So pretty much you'll feel it being a little bit rough at the start. And you keep on going till it goes smooth, then you move on. Now, with doing, especially paint correction in general, it is always very most important is preparation. If you don't prepare, you're preparing to fail. And that's what it comes down to. Beautiful. Start from the, well, my ruling is I start from the top, then I work my way down.
Will ceramic coating hide swirls?
Does what, sorry?
Will ceramic coating hide swirls?
Swirls, no it
Yep.
won't. That's why it's most important to do a paint correction before actually applying it. Because a lot of vehicles, you know, you take them to, you know, like your car washes and stuff like that, and your self car washes, and you'll find that it actually leaves swirls on the paintwork. Because you're using, you know, maybe a brush that has stones in it from the previous vehicle and you haven't cleaned it. Things like that. A lot of people use those car wash brushes for their wheels, and they don't clean them afterwards, and then you don't clean them, and that's where swirls come from. Is from, of course, misuse of a brush, a washing brush. That's what you will find. So, anyways. So as you can tell, it's getting so much smoother already. And I haven't even done a paint correction yet. When this, you'll see once the paint correction is done, how fantastic the outcome's going to be. Now you're probably asking, what sort of polisher do I use?
Yeah.
I actually use Rupes equipment. So I have a Rupes Audible polisher that's actually 15-inch. It is the hybrid version, so the brand new one that's just come out, which is cool. So it's actually very easy to use. If you know detailing and things like that, you'll actually find that.
How does Rupes different from other brands?
How does Rupes Yep, so Rupes has actually been around since 1930s, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's funny, they used to make all body shop equipment, things like that. And I mean, especially with the newer ones, they're an Italian-made product, so they're quite good. Very high quality. They are a little bit more costly compared to others, but they are fantastic, which is good. But yeah. Just got to be careful with this door because he's telling me it's just been painted the other week, so I won't go too hard on that door. Just going to go lightly. So you got to be very careful. I mean, before doing a paint correction, or actually in your cleaning the vehicle, always inspect the vehicle beforehand. See if it's been in any sort of repairs, and analyze it yourself and see, am I going to be able to go forward with this vehicle? And what is your preparation? At the end of the day, you're here to improve the vehicle, not make it worse. Foam down the other side.
What's the difference?
In my opinion, absolutely nothing. You can use soap, as long as you put a thick coating of soap on it. Absolutely. When you're doing this for over 10 years, you never use lubrication. Lubricating spray is an option to use, but it's not 100% needed. But if you don't have the experience and you've never used soap before to clay down a vehicle, just buy the lubrication spray.
What do you think are the rules of after ceramic coating? Like what you need to do after you've done ceramic coating? Like what are the things you need to do? Like is it needed to be need to be out of the rain for how many ways?
No. So it's fine for 30 minutes. So the vehicle just needs to be not washed, not driven, nothing for 30 minutes. So it needs a curing time of 30 minutes for you to be able to drive the car, and it needs 1 week without cleaning the car. That's all.
What else? Detailing with them.
Just working hard, and you don't need to spend massive amounts of money in the marketplace to get a good result. You know, I'm a small business. I've been operating for close to a year now, and my number one rule is, of course, highest quality, cheapest prices, and that is exactly what it is. And just offering value to the market. If you can offer value to the market, value is the way to go.
what is the next step? What is the next step?
Just gonna clean the wheels.
Okay.
As I said before, switch mitts. 1 mitt for wheels, 1 mitt for the exterior. Get in all the grooves.
What is the difference between wax and ceramic coating?
Wax and ceramic coating.
Yeah.
Yep. So wax is I would call that wax is pretty much a protection of a polish coating. So rule of thumb is if you're going to polish a vehicle and you're not putting ceramic coating on it, you put a wax coating over it. So let's just say you've just polished the vehicle, vehicle's looking great, and well, you want something to protect the, you could say, paint correction that you've done, which is the same as polishing really. If you're using an audible machine and you're doing 1 to 2 steps and you're taking out scratches and swirls, and you're doing things like that, adding a wax coating at the end is actually protection. So it's protecting your polishing that you've done. That's basically what it is. To put it on a basic level, that's what it is. Wax has been around for years. Wax is fantastic. You know, I do it on my vehicle from time to time. I've just coated it, but before I did wax the vehicle as well. Waxing is great and it does have its place in the market, and it always will. Because not everyone will, you know, spend money in getting ceramic coating. Because it is, you know, it's a little bit more, of course, compared to wax. You know, you can buy wax, you know, you probably buy a can of Canupa wax, you know, for $15, $20. But that's the difference. Ceramic coating will last, you know, years, and wax will last, supposed to be 3 months.
Would you consider yourself doing that in the next few years?
Doing what?
Doing wax in the next few years?
Waxing.
Yeah.
I have done waxing. Yeah, I've done waxing before. So with my full extreme detail, so you can actually go for a polish and wax coating on that, depending on what your vehicle needs. So not all vehicles need to be polished. Some vehicles only need a wax, that's all. Sometimes they're in that good of condition that you just put a wax coating over it and it looks fantastic and it beads off the paint and everything, but that needs to be done. Serviced every 3 months or so. All using this thing, chamois. It's a thing of the past. Drying towel. Minimises the risk of scratching the car. Gives it a great finish, streak free. Look at that. Fantastic. Let me show you what it does. So, pretty much, just throw it over the bonnet, like that. Bring it like that. Dry. Just started using this. And look at that. Soft on the paint. Now, nothing wrong with it. But the drying towel has its place. Look at that. It's the one streak. It's great.
Compared to chamois, is it easy to use than the chamois?
Yes and no. So it does a better job. And the chamois is harder. The chamois is harder. See, I've been using a chamois for years. But make sure the car's 100% dry. Next step of what we're going to be doing here is paint correction. So let me show you. As you can tell, we're using Ruper's equipment. So we'll be starting off with the ivory audible polisher. Now this audible polisher comes with 2 batteries, so it's continuous polishing. You know, you do have to stop to change the battery, but it is continuous polishing. It's fantastic. This is the 15-inch hybrid polisher by Rubens. They did just bring out the Mark V, but this is the hybrid. So the first battery-operated polisher. It's great, as you can tell. Fantastic. Now, before we actually get started on the vehicle, we're going to have a look at the paintwork, see what it needs. So the first question you're going to ask is, what is the scratches on the car? So we'll have a look. says is new. They say it's between a finishing pad and a cutting pad. So, let's check this out. That's the rotary. Here we are. They're called the DA intermediate pad. So, I'm going to put this into here. Before we get started, I'm going to be using DA course. Remove any sort of defects on the paintwork. There is a few scratches around it, things like that. Not all of them will come out. I'm thinking about 90% of the work. So here we go. Now, before we actually as you can tell, it's been used before. Come over here. We need to prime the pad. So, very important thing, you can't just squirt on the compound and start polishing. But we've got to prime the pad. So, first things first. Get the compound. As I'll show you here. They say to do it in a cross pattern. Just like that. I like to do a little bit extra. That's just how I do it. But yeah. We're going to start off by doing that. I'm going to butter it on. Just like so. Fantastic. Now we're going to prime the pad. Yeah. Speed 1. On the paintwork. They say for about 15 to 20 seconds you should be priming the pad. Alright, that's primed. As you can tell, it's spread around the pad. Yeah, what we'll do is speed through. So, perfect. Make sure it's... There is some scratches, of course, that you can't get out.